do you pass judgment to many people? Because
no one wants to know.
If you're being honest.
Yeah, if you're being honest.
Yeah, but I wouldn't tell them. I wouldn't tell them. I'll try and understand. But the first thing would probably be to pass judgment.
Hey, yes, you're in the right place. And for that, you should give yourself a like. You know what you've done? You've reached the Procast right here on their YouTube channel. This is it. And guess who's your lovely host? I am indeed Simon Says. I'm a content creator who makes content that makes you smile and think at the same time. And the reason I am smiling like this, because I am a content creator who's actually coming on a platform like this, where you as a content creator, you want to create that particular podcast and you don't know where to do it. Well, guess what? You can come all the way down to where? Upper Hill. They got your back. Upper Hill right here. You can comment and you actually check them out. They got your back with elegant photography. You know, they give you that touch of elegance. Make sure you check them out. Their link in the description below. Even they got their contacts where? Right there. So make sure you reach out to them and do that. But right now, today, we got two people right here. Two people who had to drag. I had to pull them. I had to get them down on the couch. And because they're a bunch of introverts, right here, we got Leo. How are you doing, Leo?
I'm good.
How would you describe your personality?
Definitely introverted. But there's a mix of extrovert when I need to be, only when it's necessary.
Exactly. Okay, we'll dive into that. And Otiato, how you doing? You have a very rhythmic name, by the way.
Yeah.
You have a very...
it's a very difficult name, and once you get it, you can't forget it.
Otiato
Guguyu.
Guguyu.
Yeah.
That's a very... It sounds like...
I've always had a problem introducing myself to people because, you know, once you tell somebody your name, like, you just see it in their face, they haven't got it.
You see that every single time, by the way. Yeah, especially, especially now, for example, foreigners. How do you introduce them? For example, now when they say Otiato,
so they just nod and you know, like, I know you haven't got it. I understand. It's a difficult.
You're very understanding.
It's a difficult.
Even thank you so much for even taking time, because I know you're an introvert. How uncomfortable are you even, first of all, in front of camera as an introvert yourself? By the way,
you know, I would describe myself as. I think the best way I could describe myself is when we have a teacher in a class and he asks a question. I know the answer, but I won't necessarily say it.
Your voice is valid. But your voice is valid.
If I can avoid having to be in the spotlight, I will avoid it. I will definitely avoid it.
Oh, because
I actually even chose a career based on the fact that I won't be anywhere near the limelight. I decided to become a journalist. A print journalist.
Oh, okay.
A print journalist. So that you don't necessarily have to see me on TV. I don't necessarily have to be seen. Let me do the things behind the camera. Let me just hide somewhere.
Wait, as a print journalist, that means you're a man. You have a good hair, hapa. You got your thing, eh?
There I can.
High school. Were you one of those guys writing letters to Ririni? Were you one of those?
I was doing poems.
Hey! Were they hitting? That's serious, because writing is an art that's primarily even. Do you feel like writing is an art that's kind of like a little bit lost in today's generation?
Writing isn't necessarily lost in today's. There's a lot of writing that is happening, but I guess the because of this idea that everything has to be brevity, it's kind of taking the beauty away from it. People want to get to the point too fast. But your writing is a skill that people can take you around, show you things that you're not there, take you to places that you're not there, and that sort of thing. Okay, as in, when will you get somebody writing like people like Leo Tolstoy, who will give you a book this big,
and then
on a simple story about marriage and that sort of thing?
Hey, that's because even writing. So writing is a long-term game. Everybody wants quickies nowadays.
So I feel like that is it's just that it has evolved into this quickie thing.
Yes, that is the truth. And that's a key.
If I would have it my way, would delay things a little bit. Have some foreplay.
Really? Take it slow.
Even
you, but let me ask you, you, because you're also a fellow introvert. When you walk into a room. Where there it is, you walk into a room. Let's say you're walking, the door is on the front part.
Yeah.
You know, like right there, the speaker, you walk into the door. Yeah. Where are you going?
Are there seats at the back near the door? Who is the speaker? Is he in front or right at the door? Preferably at the back then.
Even as an introvert, because introverts, people say, I just like being by myself, don't disturb me.
Yeah.
I've seen the memes that now, if you cancel plans on me, I'm happy. Is this true?
Yeah. Honestly, yes. I'll just delay. I won't call fast. I will never call fast.
Why?
Because, hey, man, I don't. Does anyone really enjoy like being an extrovert? Really?
Me.
You
That's
too.
why even you discuss. That's why I'm here because I am literally. Oh, because even
Yeah.
as an extrovert, I
Uh.
feed off your energy.
Really?
Yes, I'm a vampire. I suck up your energy, but
Yeah.
even as an introvert, let me ask: where do you refuel yourself mostly?
Yeah, once in a while you feel the need to obviously have conversations with other people. So yeah, I'll definitely go out with friends or just have conversations.
How long?
How long?
Yes, because
Hey, if it's during the day and just like 2 hours, 3 hours, and then my
Max.
energy is just now, I just need to go home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
it's enough.
it's like you're too much.
Yeah, like what are we still talking about?
Do you like big mouths? Because considering
I do actually mind big mouths for one reason. When you're in a space where more than two people, there's three sort of a group, I don't necessarily want to talk. So if I can get somebody to do
Yeah,
that, and I
it's
can just
easier.
sit back and let them, and I nod and let them do the talking, that's my space.
so you guys
They're
are good.
useful.
Eh?
They're very useful.
So you're very good at what you call it, giving out duties.
Yeah.
Delegating.
Wait, so introverts are a lot of duty givers.
Actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. So so you like playing in the background?
Yeah,
You like playing the background role?
Yeah.
a lot.
Oh my goodness.
You learn
Preferably,
more.
but for me, preferably.
Ah.
Yeah.
Hey, a quick one. Even as a quick pause. Even I just want to remind you real quickly that even as they play the background, the guys are even on the other side of this camera. And guess what they're here to do? They're here to enhance your photography, even in your pictures. And guess what they will do it right here at the Pro Studios. And you actually find it right here at Upper Hill. So even just reminding you, if you want that elegant picture, that touch of class, they got you. But you don't know them. Do you know why? You can't see them. I can. Why? Because I'm here. So you want to come on down here. You want to reach them out? Right here. All right, so you do so. But even I was telling you, even you're discussing about being behind the scenes, as the camera guys are even here behind the scenes. Is there power in being the person behind the scenes? Because a lot of us extroverts think that the only power that is only there with you being in front of the scene. Let me ask the lady first. Go ahead.
You think so?
That's what we extroverts actually have that perception of.
Yeah. I think when you're behind the scenes, you can notice a lot more. And information is power. So, yeah, there is more power being behind the scenes. Because you'll notice a lot more than the one who's ukombele can notice. You'll see everything. Yeah.
You get the full picture.
You get the full picture.
What about you? What do you think? Will you get the perspective of like?
You know, I've never thought of it that way, but then that's a very interesting bit. Because we are those kids that used to go playground. They are those kids that wanna along the fence and then they just watch the playground. I think that was our most comfortable space when when we were growing up. But for your question, I'm not interested in power.
That's what
Like completely.
You're not interested in power. Why not?
Completely.
Why not?
It takes away a lot from you than it gives you. Because
Explain.
now you have to do certain things, as in there are expectations of you. I don't want expectations. When you're in the background, you can actually live without expectations.
Then the question I would ask you is this:
Yeah.
when you're in the background, do you ever feel at any one time you're overlooked?
I would rather.
Hey.
Ideally, I would rather.
You'd
Yeah.
rather be. And what about
'Cause
you? Because there can be that aspect of like, okay, yes, you're playing the background, congratulations, but then now someone can overlook now your role.
Not really. I don't think so, no. If I'm in the background, it's because I want to be there. If I didn't want to be overlooked, I will do something that will make sure I'm not overlooked. So, no.
That's because
For me, I would rather I'm okay being overlooked. But if you really think there's some value I can give you, if you look in there, you'll find it. Yeah, because it's your loss if you overlook me.
because you are the prize.
I have a
You're the
capacity.
prize.
So
You're the prize.
you might be missing out on something if you overlook me. So I won't necessarily prod you that you can overlook me. It's your loss.
It's your loss. Because even I'm realizing is you guys have a very good understanding of your own self-worth.
I think so.
Yeah. Now the question I would ask: do you think extroverts don't have that a better understanding? Because now here's a question: because as extroverts, we can be the ones that are tryhards. Have you ever seen that? Can you notice that behavior in many extroverts when they're being maybe tryhards, and you don't have that? Have you seen that?
If they're being tryhards.
Yeah. Like, hey, you're trying too hard, boy. See, relax. Like, hey, what's wrong with you, boy? Like, it's not that serious. We just, you know, because maybe you never have that because you're always good at being behind the scenes. Then do you like also now giving, because you think you like being behind the scenes, you can now see the scope of things. Then do you like giving instruction?
It's easier.
It's
easier to give instruction, definitely. Doesn't everyone, if you could just you could have it your way.
It was really obvious for everyone.
Yeah, like everyone likes giving instructions.
Everyone like giving, but then now here's the thing: when you're the one giving instruction, guess who's gonna be held accountable?
You.
Where?
It's okay.
I can take it.
You can take it.
I can take it. I can take responsibility. I can take full responsibility.
What do you think is a big strength that you have as an introvert?
Biggest strength as an introvert, just being able to observe more. Yeah, being able to observe more.
And what have you seen about people, based on your observation, what have you seen about people, like is a normal behavior? Basically, sometimes when you sit back, what do you observe about people? What stands out to you? Where?
About people?
Yeah. Because you observe a lot. Like a serial killer.
I'm worried. Let me not put myself
you know, they're panning the situation. You're there panning. You're like,
It makes it so much easier to read people. And like now you can understand how people are. So you can really read people. When you look at someone, when you have a conversation with someone, you know this person is this type of person. So, yeah.
And G, what have you seen like about people? I just want to know, like, because you're a scanner.
I think for me, the thing is, when you look at people, try to imagine them as kids. Try to go back when you guys were in a pack of kids just playing in the field and see them in that sense. Like, people never grew up. People are like adults are they're that's children in adults. Like, if you really look into it, that's just where they are. So instead of that's the person you can
but
see.
it's true.
I'm looking
There's
at
some truth to that. You just grown people without diapers.
Exactly. So you look at them in that sense, and then you sort of sometimes you understand them. Sometimes it makes sense, a lot of sense.
Do you also see yourself as a child?
Most of the
Now
time.
you feel
Most of the
okay.
time, yeah.
All
the time, yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting because even when you say you observe people, even you take a step back. Now, when you actually you're analyzing people, do you pass judgment to many people? Because
no one wants to know.
If you're being honest.
Yeah, if you're being honest.
Yeah, but I wouldn't tell them. I wouldn't tell them. I'll try and understand. But the first thing would probably be to pass judgment. And then maybe I'll remind myself, oh God, they're just human also, so it's okay.
Because even you sit back and you analyze some people, you're like, okay, you can, but then you're able to see people for who they truly are.
I hope so.
And you hope so.
Yeah.
Where have you gotten it wrong? And yet, because I'm thinking that we, the guys who talk a lot, are the ones who primarily don't give other people the chance to show themselves who they truly are. And yet you maybe have a better understanding of who people may be. So that's even I'll ask, where do you think you've gone wrong in scenarios that you say, I know one thing, but guys!
No, you know, the fact that, like she's told you, I look at people and make judgment about them, and they don't necessarily tell them. I figure everyone is the same, at least to that level of extent. Because, you know, there's a lot of what do you call them, self-censorship that happens before a conversation, before you even say a single word. You have thought of it, you have looked at your audience, you've said, I want them to take this particular words in this particular context and this particular sense. So nobody is really what they are inside their minds. Yeah, everybody's they have to measure. There's a lot that happens before somebody before you make some sort of communication.
I get
so
you.
Considering that I know myself, and I know that there's a lot that is
the humility.
There's a lot that is kept inside. I'm sure that the person I'm passing judgment, there's a lot that is also kept inside. So I don't have the full information. I have to appreciate that.
That's interesting, because even let me ask, because now you say as an introvert you're receiving a lot of information, correct, from other people because you're busy analyzing. That means that a lot of you introverts also have a problem with people knowing you. Are you good at now disseminating information about you?
Hey, no, not at all. No.
Why?
Hey,
even that
It's just a thing.
Why is that so? Why? Why?
I think it's just a thing. As in, no.
Is it like you feel exposed? You don't want to like expose. What is that like? Because introverts, you don't want to show.
Because maybe you'll now be required to do things in public after people realize that you know some things. They will want you to do things in public which you don't necessarily have to. Yeah, life will force you to be an extrovert. Life will, because look at us as in,
right
look
now.
At me. I've been forced to come before camera. Even after I spent so much time trying to avoid it, I'm still here. So I guess if you open your mouth, people will get you to do stuff. So if you can keep shut, they'll let you alone and you'll stay in the background.
Is there power in keeping information away from people?
Is there power in keeping information away from people?
Yes.
Not really.
Not really.
Then.
See, I told you we are not interested in power.
Yes. You're not interested in power. Okay, so then is there safety?
I have that information when I need it.
Is there a safety net maybe that you can have when you like now keep some things away from people? Like a safety net in the sense that because I'm not showing you this, hence there's no expectations, hence I feel safe in my zone. Could you say that's the case?
Safety, maybe not safe.
It's just too much work.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know if you don't give it.
It's too much work.
It's just too
mental
much
work. It's
so involving. Yeah.
So much energy to
talking and stuff.
Exactly.
You have to do stuff.
Even for ladies like gossip, you don't involve yourself in that.
I involve myself in it, of course, because we live in a society, so you kind of just have to sometimes involve yourself in conversations. But I don't find it necessary. I don't think it's meaningful conversation talking about other people. No.
Hey, that's actually good because even when you mentioned even introvert, so you're not very big on like talking. You're just there like like you're the one now
edging on there. The verbal cues. I see.
So you're the one just encouraging.
And people like talking, so you just let them do it.
Like
hey, but there's also power in moving in silence. Is there?
Are extroverts
obsessed with power?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not talking about myself. It's okay. Let's say there's no power.
Yeah.
Let's say there is.
Because if you talk, you sort of influence people. So there's power in talking, like you said. There's power in talking. But I guess we are not necessarily that interested in power.
Then now the question would be, someone can assume that you don't know how to express yourself because you're not talking about it.
If they give me a chance, they'll regret it. So like I've told you, it's their loss.
Yo,
I'll kill them.
But because there's depth. Because there's depth.
There's depth. There is a lot, yeah.
But then also, you know how they say silence is consent. And then sometimes you can be consenting to things that you're not even agreeing with. Have you ever seen yourself in a scenario where are you very contradictory? Like if there's something that you're not with, you're not like you don't agree with Simon saying all these things.
Yeah.
Are you able to speak up or would you rather shut up?
I will speak up if it will affect me or if it's really bothered me. If it hasn't bothered me that much, no. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
Or if I feel like it's really stupid, like why would I engage in that conversation?
She's right. Unajiongelesha and you sort of just ask yourself, is it necessary?
Should I involve
Is it a must?
Why bother?
Can I avoid this? Yeah. Okay. Let it go.
But even as a man, sometimes we have the minutes of friction. We have times of friction even between man to man. Have you ever seen the need to like, hey, yo, boss, nini, where?
If you get to some point where I think it's necessary, I'll definitely. I will never shy off from telling you. But I'll always ask myself, is it necessary? Can I avoid this? Like, nowadays I've realized most of the time I just go in, like when you're in these WhatsApp groups and guys are always arguing in WhatsApp groups, it gets heated. Like it even gets personal. But for me, like, do I have to?
Why bother?
Why do I have to? Is this fight worth it? I'm like, nah, let it go.
Even let me ask you, like, for example, your friend asks you, let's go out somewhere, whatever, and you are. Before you say yes, what is the introvert checklist? What is your brain checklist before you decide I'm going to stand up, go change, do all this? Like, what is the checklist that you mentally go through before you agree?
How many people are coming? How many people would I have to engage with directly? If I have to engage with a lot of people directly, I'd rather not. Crowds crowds are just like, crowds that actually require you to participate. Of course, if you're going out and it's a crowd, you can't just be quiet there. You'll just look weird. So now you have to participate. If it's a crowd, no thanks.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is there a checklist for you before you agree to go out?
So for me, at least, I agree with the caveat. I agree, but I'm not committing things with, as in, I
agree without commitment.
Yeah,
Hey, no, this is a different one. You guys take notes. I agree with you, but
I want the opportunity to turn down if I become too lazy during the day, like I don't feel like doing it anymore. I won't compel. I won't like make it. So I'll really it will depend on that time when I have to come out. So if not, I'll just change my mind.
If the energy is
It's
there.
not there. I'll just change my mind. So the person inviting me, there's a very huge list that I won't turn up.
Yeah. You probably know.
I know.
You knew already. You knew you'd say no before even.
I just agreed, but I knew you would
Because
come.
yeah. Guys, are you taking notes? Extroverts, but even in this world, like, okay, do you feel like do you ever like, for example, there's some people who may say, I wish I could be able to do such. And yet now because you're an introvert, do you ever have that, like a weird conflict? And for example, even me, sometimes I wish I could be able that introspective to people because I see your strength as an introvert. Do you ever look at extroverts and say, maybe you wish you could do such a thing?
It looks like a lot of work, so no.
What is a lot of work?
Like just having conversations and constantly talking, just being extroverted feels like a lot of work. Like you have to think about conversations to have with people. Most of the time it's even small talk, so it's exhausting. I don't know why you guys like it, but anyway.
Guy, you know she just said to me, Simon, being you is just a lot of work. I look at you and I see stress. Like I just cannot even deal with you. Like even you, do you feel like do you ever like look, even if it doesn't even like talking about stalking, it could be even as simple as being the social butterfly that sometimes people do. You ever look at extroverts and say maybe there's something?
Yeah, for me I think I've been in the job market for like 10 years and I've seen when it comes to reward and the work you do in the office, if you're not extroverted, you don't get rewarded. I've seen a lot of people progress because they are louder than anything else. So for me, I think if I was a bit extroverted, I think I would have had more money in the market. Of course, I would have had more money. So I think I miss out in certain things because I'm a bit laid back.
I get you. That's actually true, and there's also advantages to being laid back.
Yeah.
Because that means you're easier. Everybody wants to be kind of like even around you, somehow.
Even
do you feel like people? Even ask you. Do you feel like people want to be around you because you're an introvert?
Not because I'm an introvert.
Because
just maybe after having a conversation, maybe.
No, I think for my experience, it's people want to be around me because I listen.
Yeah. Actually.
That's key.
And people want to be listened to, like really listened to. Yeah. So when funny thing is that if you get to two extroverted people, like when you're talking, I'm already planning what I'm going to reply to you. So at some point in your sentence, I've forgotten what you're saying. I'm already thinking of the answer. But for us, we can. Because I don't want to talk after you.
Yeah,
yes, I've no.
Just talking as much
God,
as you can.
like I can really listen to you. So I think that is why people are drawn.
So clearly, you guys will make the best therapists.
Yeah, that would
Have
be
you ever been
nice.
used like that? Like, let's talk about that because I'm sure, especially let me talk to the ladies. Have you ever been used almost like a therapist?
Yes. Yes. A lot. A lot.
Is it annoying? Have you talked to me about that?
It's not annoying.
But
I
you
think
like
it's
it?
quite nice that someone can really come and talk to you about what they truly feel. It's nice. I think it's an honor. It's a privilege. if
Being
anything.
like
Yeah.
being when you're someone therapist, do you ever, when you feel like you're someone's therapist, do you ever look back after like the conversation, you're like, people have problems.
I'd probably be like, you trust me with that, right? You're coming to me. You have problems.
Also, because so even you have seen sometimes even when you keep quiet, you feel like people think that you have so much wisdom.
Yeah, but I think people assume that people approach you with some veneer of now you have something that you can say that is profound that is it's not just over the table, and most of the time it's akuda.
Because that's how it is.
When you just let them have that idea, that perception, and okay, well and good.
But what it's been refreshing having this conversation because getting into the introverted mind, that is actually a very interesting thing because even even as yourself, what characteristics of extroverts have you incorporated within your life? Because we're more than just one sphere of a personality. Or even just asking you, even as a wrap up, what sphere, even what other characteristics of beyond as an introvert have you incorporated within your life that you've seen?
Beyond,
As you've grown as an individual.
Can I think about that?
Yes. See, introverts. Aki guy. Can I think about it? And you like, as she's thinking, as she's loading. But even for example, as you grow, even as a man, there's the you as in your 20s. There's you even as you're 15. You've incorporated this to small things. You used to be the one like in the corner, but now you've seen there's instances where I've actually been able to incorporate one or two things within my personality because as I'm growing as an individual.
I think for me, what really helped me was the career that I chose. Because in as much as I chose print journalism to stay away from the cameras, I still have to ask questions. I still have to be able to articulate myself. So I've had to learn to also be. I can switch from being extremely introverted to some attributes of being extroverted because they are necessary for the career, for everything. I have to do it. If I have to do it, I will do it, and I will do it well. But I just would rather not.
But if I have to, I can.
I'm there.
Have you ever been? If you have to, you can. Have you seen those scenarios?
Yeah, maybe with dealing with clients. Dealing with clients, you have to really engage them, make sure they're having a good time, make sure they're having a good day. So you have to really have a conversation with them and look like you're enjoying it.
Exactly.
And there's something I've seen her do. I think maybe when she's doing it over the phone, she's more extroverted than when she's doing it in person. We get clients that come here and just ask, I just want to talk to the person who talked to me over the phone.
Then I use it then, extroverts then, yeah.
That's a key thing.
That's you guys' life, every day.
Welcome to our life.
Not that bad.
Exactly. And you actually wondering, how in the world can you get this voice to even hear you can actually hear this voice on the call? Because when you call them, guess what you're gonna do? Just call right here, call these studios right here, for that you can actually even create a piece of content on a set like this. Have you seen the elegance? My butt cheeks are comfortable and warm. And this could be yours right here Pro Studios. They're right here at Upper Hill. They're convenient for you. Hey, listen, this is a service that's offered for you. Even your own personal brand, grow it online. And you can also even follow me, Simon Says Online. Make sure you stay locked right here. And if you like this video, go ahead and like if you're an introvert. Comment underneath if you can relate with their stories, okay? I'm glad you enjoyed it. And thanks for staying this long in this video. I appreciate you. I appreciate your eyeballs. And thank you so much. Until the next episode, Simon Says, see ya.